important I give these a good soak. Now, I've said that gardens heal, but the truth is that there are some illnesses that neither gardens nor anything else can cure. But what gardens can do is improve the quality of life, however ill you are. And Adam went to South Oxfordshire to visit a community garden set up by those with Parkinson's disease.
Parkinson's is a progressive neurological condition which affects the brain and can cause symptoms which include shaking of the hands or arms, muscle stiffness and slowness of movement. Despite research, there is still no cure for it.
This is incredible if this is just done from seed.
Yeah. You and Stut set up a charity for people with Parkinson's and created this garden a year ago.
Who's involved? How does it work?
It's friends, family, and the message has gone out from there. And that's what we're all about with the Parkinson's element, really, is to kind of create awareness and get people involved, really, and a sense of community.
When were you first diagnosed?
I was diagnosed when I was 41, which is 7 years ago now, because I was working at the time. You know, I've got a young family, and you know, you've been given this diagnosis of this, you know, progressive degenerative condition. What do you do? So actually, from my point of view, it's a case of trying to crack on and do the normal things, but actually the acceptance of the diagnosis is huge.
So what do you feel the garden brings to the community?
It brings a space that people can come and relax. The availability to talk about Parkinson's. They have the mindset of kind of, you know, they're going to be interacting with people with disabilities.
You really seem to have like connected with the natural world.
It's something that I really enjoy. It's, you know, I always kind of enjoyed, you know, walking and getting out and about, but yeah, now to be having the opportunity to create, and I think that's probably what it is actually, is that creativity. And I've been a very creative person throughout my whole life. I mean, I was diagnosed 7 years ago. If you'd have seen me on day 2 of the diagnosis, we wouldn't have been having this conversation.
No, I bet we didn't. No, I bet we wouldn't. No.
I'm really impressed with how much they've achieved. They always seem to have a project on the go. And I'm going to help them with a sensory garden.
So Adam, if we start trying to work out a rough guideline or a framework?
Yeah, so if we get them laid out, mate, so it's sometimes quite nice, rather than just putting a block of 3 or, you know, a line, is just to give yourself something to build off, and maybe work that one there, and then we can start to arrange the others around it, you know. So today we're creating a garden which is all about the senses. Is there an importance of that connection with Parkinson's itself?
There is in many ways. A lot of Parkinson's sufferers actually lose the sense of smell. But if you can't use your smell, you've still got the sense of touch.
So how often do you come down here?
I get down as often as I can. You get the chance to actually do things that you forgot you could do again. A lot of people with Parkinson's have problems with balance. And surprisingly, when you come here, you suddenly find out that you think you've got a problem, but next minute you're on your knees putting plants in. And you think, well, how did I get here?
So when were you first diagnosed?
About 9 years ago.
Yeah.
The way I describe it is that my world fell apart. I was given the diagnosis, that was the end of life, I thought, at the time. I'm a very positive person, and Parkinson's can actually affect you in that way. Emotionally, you can become quite negative. So to have something like this that pushes you on, moves you forward, because the actual involvement of working in a garden, I can forget that I've got Parkinson's, and that is really great.
You're actually doing something, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah, you're achieving.
Yeah.
You're achieving, and Parkinson's doesn't want you to achieve. Parkinson's wants you to close down physically, emotionally, mentally. And something like this just triggers all those responses and keeps us human.
Keeps us moving big.
I like that, mate. Keeps us moving big. Do you know, one thing that strikes me straight away about Parkinson's is it could be incredibly isolating. And this garden, even as a social space, really breaks those barriers down. And then on top of that, it's educating a community.
Paul Mayhew Archer is a stand-up comedian and co-writer of Vicar of Dibley. He has Parkinson's and is a regular visitor to the garden.
What I really love about coming here is that mostly I'm in a community where people are moving very quickly, and I'm moving very slowly. But plants grow very slowly.
They grow at totally
even more slowly than me. So I feel sort of at what
you're at
home.
speed.
Yes, I'm up to speed, if not in excess of speed of the plant.
I think what's blown me away today is how you've all found your way. You know, Ewan's found the garden, shared the garden. You've got your humour.
Yes.
You know, but bringing those together.
Yes, and I think it's very important that we do share these different things with communities.
Sharing the space has been one of Ewan's biggest aims. He's invited students from the local primary school to help create a bug hotel and plant up a wildlife area with the volunteers.
What he's done is he's got children to come in, do some gardening, which is fun, and then along the side of it, they discover about Parkinson's and discover that people with Parkinson's are not strange beings, they're just normal beings who just happen to have an illness.
What sort of insects do you think we're going to find in there?
Spiders.
Yeah, lots of spiders, I bet.
How big do you think that one's going to grow? I think it's quite tall, isn't it?
Quite tall, yeah.
The great thing about having Parkinson's is that if ever there's anything difficult to do, you know, like heavy lifting or heavy digging or anything, I can just say, I just can't manage that. So I can get out of doing anything at all labour intensive.
You've got it probably worked out.
And I can say at any point, I just need a bit of a lie down now, thank you very much indeed.
For me, what stood out today is Ewan and how he's driven this forward. It's like the stone that's been dropped in the pond and it's just rippling out into the community.